The governor and the badge, a reckoning on a Georgia highway. The hushed crimson of dust draped over the Georgia highway as Governor Elias Thorne, 42, steered his sleek obsidian sedan into the right lane. Exhausted from a day of political skirmishes, he radiated composure, his tailored suit impeccable, his eyes weary but focused. His license plate, Justice, spoke volumes, though he was never one to flaunt. Then the siren, in his rear-view mirror, pulsating red and blue lights shattered the twilight. Elias's brow furrowed. He hadn't broken any laws. His speed was moderate, his record spotless. Yet he signaled and pulled over, a silent weight settling in his chest. Experience told him this wouldn't be an ordinary stop. Officer Silas Croft emerged from the patrol car, hand already resting on his holster. Young, tense, and radiating aggression, Croft approached with determined stride, like someone expecting a confrontation. He wasted no time on formalities, asking neither for license nor registration. He simply stared at Elias, scrutinizing him from his tailored suit to the color of his skin. "Who told you could drive a car like this?" Croft barked. Elias remained calm. "Good evening, officer. May I ask why you stopped me?" Croft's hand twitched on his weapon. "Out of the car now." Elias obeyed, slowly, calmly. He knew better than to provoke, but the blatant contempt in Croft's eyes told him everything. This wasn't about the car or the law. "Hands on the hood." Croft snarled. Elias stood firm. "Am I under arrest?" Croft sneered. "Think you're better than me? That suit doesn't mean you earned it. People like you don't belong in cars like this." Elias inhaled deeply. "I work hard. I study. Perhaps you've heard." Rage contorted Croft's face. "Open the trunk. Do you have a warrant?" "I am the law out here." Croft growled, his voice laced with venom. "And that suit doesn't make you untouchable." Elias's voice cut like ice. "You're treading on dangerous ground." Officer Croft advanced, trembling with indignation. "You are disobeying a lawful order." "At this moment, I am asserting my rights," Elias replied, his voice unwavering. Suddenly, Croft lunged, kneeing Elias in the stomach. Elias staggered but didn't fall. As Croft attempted another strike, Elias blocked the punch and delivered a controlled blow to the officer's chest. It wasn't retaliation. It was survival. Croft recoiled, his pride shattered, and fumbled for his radio. "I need backup," he yelled, unaware he just signed his own demise. Elias calmly dialed a number on his phone. When the line connected, his voice was steady. "This is Governor Elias Thorne. I'm being harassed by Officer Silas Croft. Please send legal representation from the Attorney General's office immediately." Croft froze. Minutes later, more sirens pierced the silence. Reinforcements arrived. The new officers exited their vehicles, their eyes widening in recognition as they saw Elias. "Governor Thorne, sir," one stammered. "Are you all right?" Elias nodded slightly. "Perhaps you'd like to speak with Officer Croft." Croft paled. Another vehicle pulled up, and Chief Inspector Vivian Reed stepped out, her face impassive as she approached. "Officer Croft," she said, her voice razor-sharp. "Tell me, have you just detained the governor without cause?" "I didn't know who he was," Croft stammered. "I saw the car and I thought." "You thought?" Reed retorted, her tone glacial. "You assumed. You profiled." She turned to Elias. "On behalf of the department, I extend my sincerest apologies." Elias's voice was low but resolute. "This isn't just about me. How many people without titles have you humiliated?" Reed nodded silently, the truth hanging in the air like an impending storm. Croft looked down, his bravado gone. "I will be filing a complaint," Elias stated. "But I want more than an apology. I want accountability." Croft clenched his fists. "I was just doing my job." "No," Elias countered harshly, stepping forward. "Your job is to protect and serve, not to intimidate and humiliate. Today you failed." Croft's mouth opened, but no words came out. "That badge," Elias continued, "is not a weapon for your prejudices." A long, heavy silence fell between them. The other officers exchanged glances. Croft seemed to shrink. Chief Inspector Reed spoke again, her voice cutting. "Officer Croft, you are suspended immediately." A loud crackle interrupted the radio transmission. A new voice came through the earpiece. "Central, we have received a report. The governor's vehicle was flagged moments ago by the Department of Homeland Security. Possible threat alert. Repeat, vehicle flagged." Everyone froze. Elias turned slowly, his face unreadable. "What did you say?" Reed's jaw tightened. "Governor, we were not informed of any federal alert. I'm verifying immediately." Croft's eyes suddenly lit up with useless satisfaction. "See? I wasn't wrong." Elias didn't even look at him. His gaze was fixed on the chief inspector. "It seems we have much more than just a racist officer to worry about then." And with those words, the real story began. The weight of the badge. You are meant to protect, not to judge. You are not the law, Officer Croft. You are its servant, and today you dishonor the uniform you wear. Silas Croft stood motionless, the sting of the governor's words more painful than any punishment he had ever endured. He looked down, devoid of arrogance, surrounded by deafening silence. None of his colleagues intervened in his defense, for deep down they all knew Elias was right. "You cannot treat a person like a criminal just because of how they appear," Elias continued, his voice firm. "Today, you misjudged the wrong man, but how many others couldn't defend themselves?" Croft's throat tightened. His hands, once confidently near his pistol, now hung uselessly at his sides. He didn't speak. He couldn't. What excuse could he offer? Elias turned to Chief Inspector Reed. "Take his badge and his weapon immediately." She nodded without hesitation. She stepped forward, unpinning the badge from Croft's chest and handing it along with his pistol to another officer. "This is no longer yours," she said, her voice hard. Croft's mouth moved slightly, but no sound escaped. He had gone from enforcer to exposed, from accuser to a symbol of everything that was wrong. "You will face an internal investigation," Reed added. "And this time, no union, no closed doors to protect you." Elias stepped back and locked eyes with Croft. Let this moment be a warning to anyone who uses the badge as a weapon of hatred. He turned to the other officers. His voice reverberated down the highway. "What happened here today is not rare. It is only rarely witnessed by someone who could speak up. This must change. Not tomorrow. Now." The weight of his words hung in the air. Some officers looked down. One appeared visibly guilty. The illusion of the single bad apple had shattered. This was bigger. A call for reform. Under the faint glow of the streetlights, Elias walked toward his car. Pain pulsed in his ribs from Croft's assault. A pain far lighter than the fire inside him. He turned back to Reed. "I want that report on my desk tomorrow. Every detail. And review all of Croft's past conduct. If this wasn't his first abuse of power, I want names and files." "You'll have it, sir," she replied. Elias slid into the car and exhaled deeply, but peace was distant. This wasn't just about tonight. It was about everything that would follow. The city passed silently as he drove, his mind racing. He thought of his children and the countless kids watching the now viral video. What would they take from it? That power offered no immunity, or that speaking up still mattered. His phone buzzed. A message from his wife. "Are you okay?" "I saw the news. The boys are asleep, but everyone's talking." He replied, "On my way. I'll explain everything soon." At home, the porch light was on. Camille waited. She wrapped him in a silent embrace, and he let himself feel the weight of the day. Inside, he sat on the bed's edge. Camille brought him water. "They're calling you a hero," she said. "I just did what needed to be done." "No," she whispered. "You did what many are too afraid to do." He met her gaze. "This can't end here. I want to use this. Make it matter. What happened to me happens daily to people without titles or power." "Then lead. Push for change," she said. That night, Elias drafted a statement. Not a call for vengeance, but for reform, mandatory body cameras, implicit bias training, civilian oversight, and real accountability. He ended it with, "Justice must be stronger than silence, braver than fear, and more powerful than hate." By morning, the video had over 1 million views. Headlines read, "Governor profiled, officer removed. Elias Thorne sparked reform. But Elias didn't want attention. He wanted change. He called lawmakers, civil rights leaders, and police unions. Across the region, a new conversation began, led by a governor who had experienced discrimination and chose not to stay silent, because justice isn't always delivered in a courtroom. Sometimes it begins with one voice on a roadside saying, "This must change."